tuning in, man. While I set up everything, give me a few seconds while we get this thing going, man. Thank everybody tuning in to the nation. It's always a plus. It's always a pleasure tuning in, and talking to you guys about this Cowboys. We're going to talk about the additions, the theory of the additions on how we can improve this team all together collectively. And you might hear a little shout out to you, man. I see you, man. You guys might hear me clicking around, but we're going to get this thing going. I don't know why it always does this to me, but hey, you can't rush perfection, right? So we're going to talk. We're going to get this thing going. If if this thing can ever update. There we go. Save. Come on. Let's get this thing going. It is what it is. Come on, thing. Don't do it like this today with me. Facebook. Come on. Why you not giving me the green light? Everyday Murphy Laws in the mix. But shout out to you guys, man, while I'm trying to get this thing together. I don't know why it always does this. But we're going to get it going. It's just that it don't want to act right. I know you guys see me live on one platform, but the other one is not going live for some reason. And that is always a major issue with me on this god doggone thing. Come on. Facebook need to do better with this one. When I hit go right here, it's not giving it to me. Reload. Silly. It's always silly. All right, so we're going to get it going, man. Just bear with me. And I only got about 10 minutes now, 15 minutes. And share on pages, you manage. And I don't know why it don't save. Facebook need to do a better job on that. You need to save the settings. Why you got to input it in every time, Facebook? Facebook is horrible, guys. I'm trying to cross-post to them. And every freaking time you got to do this crazy cross-post deal. All right, copy. I don't know why. They need to come up with a better solution than that. All right, copy here. We're going to be live on All Nations in a few seconds, man. It's just one of those things. All right, shout out to those that's in the chat box, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Edit channel. Go right here. Put the new deal in there. That's the new deal. Save. Go back here. You should give me the option. Come on, give me the option. There you go. It's the craziest thing of all time, but we back in the mix, man. It is crazy. It's crazy. I thank everybody for tuning in. Now I'm finally on All Nations, on all shows. Shout out to Phantom. Shout out to Silver and Blue Nation, Big Game, James, EBS, and too as well. And did I mention the Dallas Prospects? Every legend was once a prospect. Shout out to you guys too as well. Shout out to everybody. And Wolford, I see you, man. I see you. Ninja Nuts, I see you in the mix too as well. If you want to communicate with me, jump on my YouTube page. That's where I'm live in the flesh at. But we're going to talk about the additions to every team in the NFC East and what it helped them to improve and things like that. We're going to listen into, I guess it's NFL Total Access, but we're going to listen to what they have to say about this thing. And we're going to get this show rocking and rolling. You guys know how it goes. This is your brother, Law Nation. Pretty much I do film session, film reviews, film breakdowns. You name it, you claim it. This is your brother right here. This is what I do. I can do it in my sleep by now. All right, so let's get this thing going.
NFC East with the Eagles not only winning the division, but obviously the big game as well. The defending Super Bowl champs. One of several interesting storylines as we head into training camp, which is just around the corner. We're going to start our Camp Countdown series with this particular division. We're going to put 3 minutes on the clock. Speaking of counting down,
shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, Duck.
About this division, starting with Sean.
Hawk Rage Cowboy. Shout out to you.
I'm going to go Nate Solder to the New York Giants. The Giants won 3 games last year, and rarely do you see in the offseason a team go in and say, look, we've got a huge area of need, left tackle, and they're able to score the best free agent in that exact
I'm going to skim through this, man, because pretty much I posted the video already, but this is what they're talking about. I'm going to hit pause right here. All right, so the Giants, they went and got Nate Shoulders. You know, he came from the New England Patriots. We understood that he got a Super Bowl ring or what have you. He backed up or blocked or helped protect Tom Brady. And then they went out and got a Will Hernandez. And they went out and got a Saquon Barkley. Now, we do look at the Giants from a different perspective now. They got a seasoned quarterback. They got the ability to also, they picked up the guy, I think his name is Jonathan Stewart from the Carolina Panthers, I want to say, and they picked up these guys. So what they're going to do? Shout out to Boomer Sooner. I see you, man. You said Facebook is useless, man. Shout out to you, man. Leave Facebook alone. Shout out to everybody that's on my Facebook page. Leave Boomer Sooner alone. But neither here nor there. They got all these weaponries around them. But let's see how this thing is going to fold, because they still have Eli. And we know Eli loved to pass those interceptions, loved to give out those gifts. That's why I was kind of upset that they got rid of, the Redskins got rid of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was one of those guys that was going to give you a gift when you need it the most. He's going to drop off that interception to you, and you're going to win the game. So let's listen to what they have to say about this.
The run game, too, though, they only scored 12 rushing touchdowns in all of last year. There's no excuse for that.
Obviously, he will have a massive impact. Reggie, which rookie in this division will have the biggest impact?
Oh, it's going to be Darius Geis. I thought I know you thought I was going to say Saquon Barkley.
I think everyone did.
Darius Geis, this guy, listen, he made everybody down
Darius
there in
Geis.
Tiger Nation at LSU forget about Leonard Fournette. In 2 years, he had over 2,600 yards rushing. Going into Washington, where there's no dominant receiver demanding a ball, he's going to get more opportunities to touch the football. And there's also Alex Smith, who's going to give him more chances with using his legs. Yeah,
when you're talking about Darius Geis, he's a guy that he's not just a zone type of runner. He have freakish speed, and he have good inside and outside leverage when he run with the ball. So I think that aspect of his game is pretty cool too as well. Let me go to right here. Let me see if I can go to another one for you guys. But appreciate y'all for tuning in to the chat box, man. That's everything, man. So when they talk about Darius Geis, when they talk about the Orlando Scandrick that joining the team, we understand, we know what Orlando Scandrick is going to do. But my thing is with the Redskins, what they improved on is pretty much in the inside and the interior. They got, I think, the Tim Settles. They also have the other kid from Alabama. Those guys, they can create that pressure. I think it's D-Ron Payne, right? Did they get D-Ron? Yeah. So GQ Mills, you already know, and Killing Them Softly, you already know, to win the games in the National Football League, you got to start with the core. And I've been telling everybody, if you can fix the core on teams, then you win in half of the battle, meaning that you penetrate into the interior of the offensive line, or if your offensive line is cool too, as well, calm and collected, and they stop in the penetration, those are two ways where you can win. Strong core, meaning a good center, a good left guard, a good right tackle or right guard too as well. And as well as when you talk about the defensive side of the ball, a good nose tackle, somebody who's going to demand to, you know, that big fat plug that's in the middle. And then your three tech, those guys that's inside is going to make the quarterback unhappy because they got to force the ball out and get it out quick. And that's when your DBs, if they good, if they can get their hands on the ball, they can pick it off or they can wreak havoc. So think about what the Cowboys are doing. We finesse across the board. I always say this, we are the most finesse front four that you can ever think of as far as defense. So hopefully, and I mean hopefully, we can see something with the Jihad Ward or also the Brian Price, all these low-hanging fruit guys, basically. But let's listen to a little bit more what they have to say.
Sean, it is very, very hot here in California right now. Talking about 100 degrees outside that door. Which player is feeling the heat the most in the NFC East? Let's talk pressure.
I'm going to say Dak Prescott. Woo. And when you look at first year in league, man, everything worked. Everything clicked. It was, wow, who is this guy? I mean, he basically made us forget about Tony Romo. And then the second year,
Dak Prescott
almost the complete opposite. Now, statistically, I thought his numbers, you know, they were obviously down, but a lot of reasons for that. I think this is a big year for Dak. You don't have Witten, you don't have Dez, obviously. I think this is where Dak is going to feel what it's like, for what it's been like for Tony Romo and for all these other quarterbacks to wear that star on their helmet. There's a lot of pressure already. Dak's going to feel the extra special this year.
Eagles making a run at a repeat or trying to. What's most important in that
repeat.
process, the offense or the defense?
You got to go offense. I mean, this team was in the top 5 major categories, they was top 10 in all of them. And in 4 of them, they was top 5. So it's hard to duplicate a season like you just had. And then you come back with Carson Wentz. You're not sure if he's going to be healthy. Then you have a Nick Foles looming in the wings. That offense is going to be important for you to go out there and continue to have success.
Now, with the Eagles, man, the thing that they improved on, they got this guy called Sidney Jones. I think that's his name. One of the top cornerbacks in the draft last year. He's going to be healthy this year. And, you know, sometimes the rich get richer, and they got a Bennett and they got a Haloti Ngata. So when I was talking about the core earlier, then they got Jernigan, how you say this man's name. They're going to stop the run. They're going to try to make, their whole goal is to make you one-dimensional. And this defense, they got these guys that come off the edge. And I talk about the other guy, too, as well, that play for the Eagles. I've got his name. I think his name is Bennett, and the other guy that's from the same school, I think his name is Burnett or something like that. Young kid, flies off to the ball, got a good dip or bend to his break. That team still, even though I call them filthy, they still made some subtle moves this offseason, and they already had put things in places for their guys to be improving as far as the secondary. Because we knew they already had a run Darby, and they already have a quote-unquote one hell of a good safety. And what's his name from Ohio State? I forgot his name. My mind is gone, boy. Worked too hard today, man. The guy that's from Ohio State, I want to say the safety, I forgot his name, Jenkins. I think that's his name, Jenkins. I don't follow Philadelphia that much, but when I do scout them. So they got some defense. They're going to be able to fly out to the ball. They're going to do things like that. So they're going to try to make your team one-dimensional. They strive on stopping the run and creating pressure off the edge. Michael Bennett was a steal. This is from Mike Marto. Yes, he was. Jenkins, thank you, man. Malcolm Jenkins, thank you. I can't say thank you enough. Malcolm Jenkins is so underrated, guys. When he came from the Saints to that team, I mean, that was a real good steal for them for many of years. And I think that he's one of those guys that set the tone, set the temperament to this team. And then also on the offensive side, they went and got a Wallace. Now, we do know that Wallace has been disappearing. That's their speed guy. They got rid of the speed guy, Torrey, I want to say Smith, they had last year. And everybody, I heard somebody say earlier today on one of my comments that I posted on videos about the Cowboys don't have a guy that have over 1,000 yards. If you look back at what the Eagles did last year, none of their guys caught over 1,000 yards too as well. So that team, the Eagles, they are coming with full force. And even though they don't have, even though if it is a quarterback controversy going on with the Carson Wentz and the Nick Foles guy, it's gonna play out. It's like having a good problem, you know, two quarterbacks like that. Bennett is a cancer, and in general, this is from Mad Magic. Hey, I hope so. I hope they crash and burn, but we'll see how everything goes out from here. Dez beat his mother. This is from J Farm. Come on now. Come on, man. Leave Dez alone. Low key, the best team for Dez to go to is the Redskins. He need to go out there and play for them. I'm just saying.
One more. Let's get it in. Whose head coaching seat is hotter, Jay Gruden or Jason Garrett?
I'll say Jay Gruden.
Jay Gruden, he said Jay Gruden. I wonder what the other guy was going to say.
I think they believe in him. I think you mentioned Geis. They're putting all these pieces around him for Jay, and I think it's heating up for him. He's going into year 5, and he still doesn't have a win record.
There's 15 seconds left. Go.
Let's go, Jason Garrett. Listen, Jason Garrett, you've only had one playoff win since 2011. You've won more games than anybody in this division. So, yeah, you win regular season games, but the games that matter, the playoff games, you've only won one.
Everything's bigger.
Good question, man. Good response. Jason Garrett only won one playoff game in all these years, but he only had, you know, for the Jason Garrett's apologists, Jason Garrett only had one losing season in his whole tenure with the Cowboys. I don't think they count the other one. When he took over the Rams for Wade Phillips, or Bum Phillips' son, whatever, you know. But neither here nor there, guys. The thing is with this coaching staff and the philosophy, we would never know This is Jerry Jones' team. Jerry Jones put everything in place as far as the coaching. Now, we do know that Stephen Jones, the son, got his hands on the mix. You can see where his fingerprints been at. But at the end of the day, it's still Jerry Jones' team. So we got to sit back, fold back, and relax. Maybe some of you guys can go ahead and sip on the hand, because at the end of the day, this is Jerry Jones' team, and Jerry Jones will not fire Jason Garrett. It's just crazy like that. You know, it's just sometimes we can have so much on our minds as Cowboys Nation, as Cowboys fans. We sit here and say, we know for sure that coaching changed everything. If you don't believe me, go ask the Philadelphia Eagles. They had Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly, he went 10-6 his first year. I think that everybody was saying that he can walk on water. He can just do all these miraculous things. But guess what? The following years from there, he just derailed their whole entire team. And they sit back and watch this dumpster fire just get even bigger and bigger. But then they sat there and said to themselves, okay, let's just change up the philosophy altogether. Let's bring in a different type of coach. His first year, he went 7-9. His second year, he hosting the Lombardi Trophy. That's just how it goes. Earl Thomas, this is from Colton Chi. Earl Thomas need to come to Dallas already. The thing is with Earl Thomas, we just got to wait. I think that eventually he will be wearing that silver and blue. It may not come when we want to. It's just going to come around the corner and hit us by surprise. Connor Williams, Dollar Ninja. Connor Williams, to me, for the Cowboys, probably be one of the most important attributes to this team. If you think about what Connor Williams can do as far as the core, we talked about core all through the offseason before the draft, and I said we need to draft the core. We need to understand what the Vita Veas of the world can do, or Will Hernandez. Of course, we didn't get those guys, but should we fold up like weak tents? No. We got a guy still that only gave up 1 sack in 3 years, and that's pretty cool, right? So now that we got that put in place, is right beside, I guess, a Pro Bowler, All-Star, future Hall of Famer. You can put all those things in the mix when you're talking about big number 77. And then I mentioned also Travis Frederick too as well. You put Connor Williams in where he's at now. Of course, we got to get him stronger and get his strength up because he is a rookie. He's going to have to beef up a little bit. But beyond that, looking beyond that, he should automatically improve his game. It's one of those things where you really got to say to yourself, okay, with this guy now in the mix, in between these guys, nobody is happier than Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, number 4. Yes, indeed. Jerry Jones won't. Stephen Jones will. This is from Buddy Johnson. Yes. It's a fickle process, guys. It's a fickle process. Let me answer some more questions. I'm gonna try to jump to my Facebook feed. So if you guys have Facebook, let me know if you're in the mix. My guy, Big Game James, in the comment section. Shout out to you, Lashonda. Shout out to you too as well. Nelson, Cowboys ready. Yeah, Cowboys ready. Shout out to you, Lashonda. Yes. So often, how many times we sit back and we say, all we need is just 1 or 2 games to change the whole outlook of this season. Oftentimes, you can also look back at the coaching staff. The second field or the second half adjustment, those things they're going to have to change. So the best thing for this offseason moves would be if we could just figure out a way to make these second half adjustment would be everything. And shout out to my guy Tavon Austin. He's going to be like the sneak peek that he's going to be sneaking out of the backfield. He's sneaky. He's sneaky with that quickness and that fast and that burst. It's going to be everything, guys. Look at my time, man. It's almost time for me to get ready to roll up out of here, man. I'm going to give you guys about 3 more sharp, hard minutes, man. Just let me know of a player you guys want me to talk about. I'm seeing somebody's putting down there below saying Gallup. That's my pet cat. Gallup controls most of the things what we're going to do with this offense. Believe it or not, even within his first year as a 3rd-round draft pick, you got to have high hopes for him because look at what Allen Hurns can do, right? We know that Allen Hurns plays better into the inside. If you look at all of the Jacksonville Jaguars tape, Allen Hurns was that guy that gets small, gets skinny, and run those short intermediate routes. You rarely seen Allen Hurns to play up to the outside. Now, this is the conundrum. When you have a rookie, the whole entire playbook and what you know mentally just doesn't always translate to the NFL. So that's why I'm holding my reservations on Gallup just a little bit until I see him play against the NFL caliber players. And that's coming in a few weeks, guys. But still in all, Allen Hurns and Michael Gallup are my two guys that I'm really just focusing on. And then what you can do with the emergence of a Tavon Austin. These things right here, those three elements right there on this team is everything. And did I leave out Cole Beasley? No. I think that Cole Beasley is still going to do his job. He's still going to handle and do his thing. Say prime time. He said, what about Randy Gregory? We're still waiting on Roger Goodell to stop playing political football and make the statement of reinstating Randy Gregory. We had a caller to say yesterday that maybe Randy Gregory will still get the same treatment as I think his name was Josh Gordon, number 12. Although he was reinstated, they still suspended him for an extra 4 games. Maybe they're going to do that with knowing our luck with the Cowboys Nation, knowing our luck, that probably will be something that happened. Maybe they're going to say, okay, we're going to reinstate Randy Gregory, but he still have to serve 4 more games so that he can get his mindset together. Maybe they do that. But hopefully they don't play this political football crap and they focus on other stuff, other teams outside of the Dallas Cowboys, because we do know that I can't leave this show without talking about this thing right here. What's his name? Shady McCoy. Shady McCoy. Now, nothing speaks more volumes of being guilty than when he went and got his lawyer. He lawyering up, you know. If you was not there and you, without a shot of a doubt, you know that you was not there and you had no dealings to do with this, hand over the phone to Roger Goodell. Let him look in between the phones and let him know that, hey, I never text nobody. I never sent any messages over to my house that I quote unquote own. And I didn't give anybody access to my quote-unquote house that I own. So something is very fishy about this whole entire story about Shady McCoy. Now, we don't have all of the evidence. I'm not saying that he's guilty, but it do kind of sound fishy. I can say that, you know. This thing kind of sound fishy. Go and look up his report. He went and got the same lawyer that got, you know, Ray Lewis off his little double homicide murder case, you know. But it's going to be something that we're going to be watching for throughout the course of the following weeks. We're going to see whether or not the NFL going to have the same vicious tactics that they did against Ezekiel Elliott. That's all I want to see. I want to see the investigation going for like 1.5 years. I want them to go pull up phone records, metadata. I want them to do everything. Pull up the couch, call Tyrone, call Pookie, Lil Ray and them. I want them to just scan through everything on this Shady McCoy thing. Because if they did it for my Cowboys, they did it against Ezekiel Elliott, then they need to do it against every other player that played on the National Football Team or league or whatever. So that's all the time I have for today. I really thank everybody that's in the chat box. I thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Phantom. Shout out to EBSN, Dallas Cowboys. .com and also Silver and Blue Nation and my guy Big Game James and the Prospect, the Dallas Prospect too as well, DDP. Well, look, I'm gonna try to get this thing crunk for you guys. You guys know this is your brother from another mother, no other. I don't look like Danny Glover, but I keep it cool for you guys. And that's all the time I have for today. And remember, you all are listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Let's jam on out to this. Let's jam on out to this music, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get this thing going.